Good morning. Welcome and welcome back. It's Judy from Thistledew Creations. And this morning I am kind of project hopping. I've gone from thing to thing, just trying to find my groove. And I think I'm getting there. I started this project a while back. This one has been done for ages. This little envelope journal book. And I've already done flip throughs of it, but I started another one similar, and so I thought I'd play in it a bit today. And for lack of coming up with a new idea, I thought I would use the same image on the front because I really do like this image. These are books of stamps from Canada Post, and they come with, of course, the stamps were in here, and then you also get these little round seals, and then of course you can fussy cut the ranunculus on these extra pages, and these are stickers because they're part of the stamp sticker matrix. I'm not sure, this one isn't a sticker, this one has a shiny back, so it has to be glued down with 3-in-1, but I think that's what I'm going to use up against this purple cover. So I'm going to go ahead and just rip that off. And I'm going to follow this line here for my fussy cutting so that I can avoid that little round section there. I can skip up to this line here. So that can go in a similar position to where that one went. Now that one I left the purple background on it, but this one I'm not, because it already is a purple background. I think that looks good. And then I need to find a couple of other little elements. So a word would be good to kind of, not really to name the journal, but just to give it a little bit of a collage look on the front. So I have Wild at Heart and You Got This. Let's see what else I've got in here. Actually, I wouldn't mind incorporating some turquoise in the front as well. Let's see. Excellent, wonderful, kaleidoscopic, what a word. Something that kind of makes sense for this little book. Marvelous. Dare to Begin was kind of because I was afraid to start doing junk journals, and I dared myself to begin. I think, oh, Heartfelt is a good one. And it kind of looks neat the way it's torn. So I'm going to ink that. And what will I back it with? That one I backed with some book page. I think the book page would be a good element to add on here. So I'm going to my stack. Now, if you haven't seen my stack, I use these clear plastic meat trays that I buy my meat, cuts of meat in. Chicken breasts, pork chops, even ground beef come in these now instead of styrofoam trays. So I've got different themes of them all stacked up, kind of ready to be used in collaging, all the different elements that I use. So you can see I've got some more of those postage stamp things there, some colorful stuff. We'll probably get into that one. Some doilies, some music. Actually, maybe I'll use music this time, because I have some music that's about the right width here. If I glue that down. Put it on the white spot. And then I'm just going to tear it down each end. And then I'll ink that as well. And I have that on top of the flower, and the other one maybe it needs to stay there. This can be inked as well. I don't need to ink this edge because it's going to go in underneath this frayed bit here. Oh, I better take off those stickers. So that's like shiny sticker backing paper on there that this is made of. So that's why I'm using the 3-in-1 on it. I don't think anything else would really hold it down long term. I do have that fingernail ruined this morning. I just did my nails before I started, and this one's already wrecked from the 3-in-1 glue. I'll move it up just a bit. The other one was touching the bottom, which is okay, but just want to move it up a bit. And again, that could have been a pocket. It's certainly sturdy enough. It could have been a pocket, but it's too late. And then we'll glue this heartfelt down. It's not quite thick enough to be a pocket. And then maybe something for up in the corner. Instead of a little picture, I think I'm going to do a bee. What have I got for bees? I've got all sorts of bees. I've got some die cut ones. That would look nice against the purple. That one's too big. And the pink bee, I have trouble finding places to use those. Maybe that would be a good spot to use it because it's on a cover, so it can be thicker. Actually, I'm going to dump these. Actually, no, I won't, because some of them are backgrounds. So this is a sticker, but I'm going to add 3-in-1 because as soon as you take it off of the backing, it doesn't seem to have any sticky left. And I think I'm going to have it so that the bee is heading for the flower. So that's cute. Cute little cover design. Now, where do I have a spot for tags on this one? In the end. Yeah, I've got a place for a tag to go in there. So let's make a tag for it while we're doing this. So let's see how big the tag can be. I'll stick my ruler right in there. So it's about 4.5. And the width is about 3 would be comfortable. I know I have this card, and I'm not sure if it's maybe not just about the perfect size. I don't think it'll go all the way in. Oh, no, it's too wide. I could cut it down. I'll save it for something else. I can use more of this paper. Or maybe what I'll do, since I do have quite a few tags and so on made up, let me just bring over my little box of tags and see if I have something that's the right size. Because we make and we make and we make, and we forget to use them sometimes. So this box, I just organized last week, early in the week, I think, or the week before maybe. It's just stuff I've made and stuff that I've embossed. And surely there must be something in here that will fit. And some of it is stuff I've got in Happy Mail. So this looks like it will fit in there. And the blue relates well to the heartfelt. And that will go almost all the way in. So I'm going to just mark how far it goes in. I'm going to cut it off and add a tab. To the side. You don't need to see it. I'll show you anything pertinent. Okay, so I marked that. I'll just cut that off. Now this is folded. I don't know if it was a greeting card or if someone sent it to me in Happy Mail. I really don't remember. I'm going to round all the corners. It's just a folded piece of paper, but look what it's going to be. I'm going to ink the edges. There'll be a little journaling spot in here. And this box is as full as it is. It doesn't make sense to make something else if there's something that'll work. I find myself in that self-inflicted trap of always wanting to make something else instead of using what I've already made. Okay, so then I had scraps from when I made the cover. And I'm thinking I'll do a little tab out of that same fabric. And I've got a little strip of it here, and it coordinates fairly well. So let's put these scraps where we can see them and remember that they're there. And so for this, I'm just gonna fold this over. Now it's got the zigzag, which I like. But I haven't been able to find my pinking shears, so let me just do a little zigzag in this end, since it's just a couple. And then along this side, instead of a zigzag, why don't I just add a little strip of lace or something? Is that too bright? A little bit. I could do pink. I have the pink flower there. So I'm just going to add a strip of the pink lace down the side here. Cover up that sort of raw cut edge. And then I'll fold this over and make a tab with it. And because that's on the fabric, it's sucking it right in. Press that into the glue. And then I'll fold it over. Won't need quite so much help because now I'm gluing paper to paper. And I'll put this on one of the pages. Like that. It just needs a little bit of time, not much, to set up. And I don't want to put much more on it because I want it to slide in and out of that pocket easily. But what I might want to do in the inside is just my little rose stamp. I used this already this morning. Actually, yeah, I'll do my rose stamp. Again, because it doesn't add any bulk and it's just going to be a little accent. So, my coloring in stamp. Going to put a little bit of green on the leaves. I'm just going to put it down in this corner. Just a little touch of detail. And then a black outline will bring it to life. A little bit off, but that's okay. I can live with it if you can. Actually, I might be able to fix that a little bit. The leaves aren't too bad. Just see if I can get that flower. There, that's a little better. It's a little muddy, but that's okay too. I'm very forgiving of myself. Did you notice? I might need this again throughout this journal, so let's just leave that out. And this should be set up now. And I could do some lines in here, but I like to write on. But I think that's okay. I just don't want this sticking to here. So that'll go in here. in that front pocket. Sticking out a little bit, I think. It fits in there tight enough that I think I could have it sticking out as much as I want. I just want to let this dry a little more before I leave it in there. So I'll set this aside. And let's see what our next thing is. We've got this pink page. It's a nice pink that's got a bit of brown mixed in with it on this alcohol ink looking page. It was just this scrapbook paper from Dollarama. It's the Beautiful Patterns. I don't know if that's the name of it, but it has these patterns that look kind of like alcohol ink. Really pretty. And then coordinates that go with it. So here, in this book, what did I do? Sometimes I have to look back and see what I did before. Oh yeah, I did a little notebook on the inside. So we could do that again, a little notepad that drops down. And I think this pink is too bright for it. So maybe, I've got some ivory colored note paper out of this Holland American line books. So that's just a cover. What's inside of it is actually pretty rudimentary, isn't it? But anyway, this has lines on it, and it's sort of an ivory color. So let me pull 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Actually, that one's sort of stuck down, so I'll do 4. Tears out nicely. It's sewn in, like by machine, it looks like. And so if I have a little notebook here that folds up, it'd be cute. I will use my tear ruler to tear myself a strip. That's about the right width. If I go with where this date is here and follow that. And then this becomes scrap for a smaller notebook. I'm just going to go ahead and rip it while I'm at it. Might end up using it in here somewhere. That can go with my strips. I've got a section in this stack which is just strips. So when I'm done, I'll put that away. And I'll probably end up using this in this project. So I'll put it in my little project tray. And this, I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I could do a little waterfall. Or I could do a fold up. So this one up to here and then fold it back down. And my fingernail doesn't always cut it as a bone folder, so let me find my bone folder. Doing multiple pages, you want to give it a really good crease. And I would even do both directions, just so that it folds and unfolds really easily. I don't have any inking on the pages so far, so I'm not going to ink this. But I think I will put like a little topper across the top. Maybe I'll use the stamps I'll use my postage stamp scissors on it. Just catching the top of that flower bud. And this is actually a sticker. And I'll put that little sticker on the front. I'll just cover that hole with it. And kind of do like this. So I was going to say I'll staple those in, but I won't staple them in because then I'd have to staple right through my cover. But I'll staple these together. And then I'll glue it in and cover it with that. I'm taking that down as far as I can. And then I think this just kind of gives it it's not vintage, these are brand new stamps, but it's like using junk is the point of it. The point of using it is not just because it's pretty, but because it's junk. And then that, I'm going to give it some help to stick down to the paper above the pad, like that, just for a few minutes. And then that gives you a pull-down notepad to make a list or write some notes or just journal about your day. I think this can go in now. If it will go in with those clamps on, it won't. There. And that could have been inked in a color as well. If I had a pale or pink ink, I would use it, I think. I just noticed I've got a pom-pom paper clip. Maybe I'll use that pom-pom paper clip to hold these so that they don't come undone. And then that can kind of poke out as well. And then on this side, maybe what I'll do on this side is more of a collage-y little section. So maybe I'll use another little strip of this. Here-ish. And another little piece of this little blue paper that can go in underneath it. Let's see what I have for tickets. I have blue tickets, but they're pretty bright. Got some pink ones with a little ink that might be a good color. A little bright as it is. Let's tone it down a bit. has my name on it. I think that's one of the ones I won with at Kim's Jack and Jill. Kim and Dan's Jack and Jill. It's not all about Kim. And then let's do like a little doily or something coming up from behind there. Actually, the other thing that I could include is some embossed paper. This leaf embossed paper it's actually color samples from windows and doors, and this one's called Seafoam, and I just ran it through my embosser. So it's perforated, so I think I'm going to cut off a square. Keep that in the container there. And maybe I will use my postage stamp scissors again. I've recently discovered these. I knew I had them, but I couldn't find them. And I'm going to layer that up like that. Actually, because I'm going to do that, I could save another little square of it out. I don't know why I would do that. It just ends up as a scrap that I have to deal with. But so these two, and then maybe a third piece of this to get myself 3 little vertical elements, kind of to soften this line. And just continue all the colors that I've been using. And then this. Maybe up here. So when you go to the paint store or the lumber yard, ask them for some samples, color samples. They have color samples for aluminum, windows, doors, steel roofs, vinyl siding, and you can make use of all of them in your crafting. If you know anyone that works at a lumber yard, it's easy to get them. I work at a lumber yard, so I had no problem getting them. A raffle ticket. And then I think I'm going to put a little brown one in front of it. This one's kind of brownish red. Very vintage looking. No inking necessary. Oops, upside down. And I did say lace, didn't I? Lace or doily or something. This lace would be a good coloring to use. So maybe I'll put that along this edge. got that glitter again. I'm just gonna trim that away. And just stick that down there. So that's a bit of a mini spread. Got another little piece of this green. I think I'm going to put it right there. And then because I have a bee there, I think I'm going to put another bee. And this time I think it'll be a gold one. I feel my groove coming on. Been working for about 2 hours here, playing, not working. And I was slow to get started, but I'm starting to feel it. And now this, maybe just a little detail down at the bottom here. That's not stuck. I'll save that for something else. Someone's trying to reach me. Messenger, was it one of you guys? Put that back in. I don't think I'll use those, but I'll keep them in there just in case. And I think that's enough for this session. Just a little bit of decorating and tag making. I feel it's a step ahead and it's starting to have a feel to it. I really like this page. That's beautiful lace. Someone sent me that, I think. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching me play. I hope you'll do something similar, and if you do, please come and share it on Thistledew Creations Facebook group and make sure you're joined up. We'd love to have you join us and share your makes with us, whether it's inspired by me or not. I have another lady who's been posting things, and she has cute little projects, so I'm happy to share my space with her. So thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. But most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.